Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, when Raila Odinga called off the mass action to allow dialogue to continue, he has never appeared before the media, maybe to respond to questions. But today it was the first time Raila was taking questions, and it is emerging that even the agreement they had with the William Samoei Ruto is not the same statement Ruto came out to read in the presser. Because, even after that presser, Kenyans were like, they're not talking about the cost of living. It's all about IBC. That was the outcome. And even when they asked Ruto about the issue of cost of living, he never gave a clear answer on that. But Raila has come out now to confirm that on the agenda there was cost of living, SAVA, and IBC. Those were the main agendas that they have agreed on going forward. And already is confirming that also they agreed on a 7-member committee, that is 7-7. Azimio 7, Kenya Kwanza 7. And this committee is going to be something closer to what we saw in this country under the Kofi Annan. So it means the discussion will not be taking place in the National Assembly. Itakuwa mahali pengine, maybe in a hotel or somewhere else. Then that committee of 14 people will be reporting to the other committee of the Azimio leadership and the Kenya Kwanza top leadership. So it means they will be consulting as they continue in the committee, so that now these leaders will be weighing in their own view, and the other side also weighing in their own view before they go for another process of the meeting. Again, according to Raila, just as he said at the beginning, this meeting should take the shortest time possible. For them, they believe that it should happen within 1 week. That means Raila want to either get a solution within 1 week, or if not, then he go back to the street when people still have the momentum to face this government. Because remember, mass action had kicked off. No one was going behind. In fact, it was gaining popularity. So watu mawazo yao tu ingali pale juu, because there's nothing happening in the government as of now. So he want a solution within 1 week, or if not, back to the street. He has talked about the issue of server. So that means that he has told William Ruto, we have to open the server. But again, he's saying that there is emerging information of compromising the server before the process of opening. So it means even there are people who are working to compromise that server so that they can tamper with some information. Again, Raila has come out clear also to talk about the issue of handshake. He's saying even he's not interested in shaking Gachagua's hand. I just say mambo ya Ruto, but Gachagua's hand, because Gachagua is the one who has been so much loud talking about yule mzee atafuta handshake and all those kind of statement. It was coming largely from Rigathi Gachagua. So it's very clear, no cooperation, back to the street. When there is cooperation, then dialogue continues. I want to leave you here with a speech from Raila Odinga when he was responding to the journalists, so that you can get the information from Raila Odinga to understand better where Azimio is heading to. Because it's like they're just too much way far from the really final issue that they need to talk about. It's like Ruto read just a different statement. So we will wait and see how they're going to move with that speed and sort out the entire situation. But please consider to subscribe as you listen to Raila Odinga.
Mentioned the issue of IEBC as sort of the main discussion. Right now, you're insisting that all the other issues that were part of the Azimio demands must be addressed. We have also seen the Kenya Kwanza Parliamentary leadership talk about this particular process, to even state that there will be no handshake, which again, your team has insisted. Perhaps if the president insists on what, or Kenya Kwanza insists on what was on their list, what then happens? Then secondly, we understand that the US Senator for Delaware, Chris Coons, just left the country yesterday. Would you please confirm or deny that the US and President Joe Biden was part of the discussions that may have happened between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza? Thank you.
Let me first begin by the first question that you asked. We, of course, talked ourselves. Mr. Ruto made his statement. But I just want to say that that was not the basis of the understanding between the parties that were negotiating or talking between us. That statement fell far short of what had been agreed, and they know it. And that's why in our own statement, we reiterated firmly what was going to be the basis of our engagement with Kenya Kwanza. And what we have reiterated in this statement is not different. We have actually mentioned the same issues that we said we wanted to be addressed. Those are the issues which made us go to the streets. And we mentioned them clearly. One, auditing of the servers so that we can put this matter to rest. We understand that some people are trying to tamper with the servers. They need to know that we are watching them. We know it, and we also know that's why we are talking about a forensic audit by experts, so that the truth can come out finally, and we put that to the end. Secondly, we mentioned the issue of the cost of living of our people. And we know that our people are suffering. Somebody who does not know that does not live in Kenya. We know so many of our people who cannot put a bread on the table. And we said we will not rest until this matter is resolved. And we said that the government does not even need any committee on this issue. We have just talked about basic costs. We talked about unga. We talked about fuel, about electricity, the school fees, very basic issues that the government can address without much problem. Secondly, I don't know where you got your information from, but Senator Coons left Nairobi, I think it was on Sunday last week, because I talked to him on Monday, and he had already arrived in Washington, D.C. Because he met the other side, and he also came and met with us. And we told him exactly what we know and the reason why we are actually going to the streets. And he said that that is our democratic right, to go to the street to protest peacefully. He did not see anything wrong with us doing that at all. So, but we need to know that we are not a colony of the United States. So we do things as Kenyans. We are happy when our international friends want to come and make suggestions how we should resolve our issues. But ultimately, Kenyan problems must be solved by Kenyans, Kenyan leaders. That's the reason why we said we are calling a truce, a ceasefire, to give negotiations a chance. But we want to reiterate very clearly here that if the other side does not cooperate, then we will have no other option but to go back to the trenches. And this will be maybe as early as sometimes next week.
Will take to neutrality of Parliament, alive to the fact that there have been a lot of movements that have been witnessed, and is that why maybe there's that call to have external individuals who are not members of Parliament, noting that maybe there would be allegiance to the various parties that they represent?
Now, what we have said is that we will have members of Parliament negotiating with their members of Parliament, but we have also a team to which that team negotiating is going to be reporting to. And we expect that the other side will also have a similar structure. We will not say that these other ones are also going to be negotiating. We'll have members of Parliament negotiating, but they are going to be answerable to a team of leadership from Azimio.
Last question. My name is Justice Ocheng from Daily Nation. So Diga, you mentioned that there were prior meetings between members of your team and members from the government side, and that the president's address fell short of the issue that had been discussed. Maybe what are these issues that were discussed, and who are these members of these teams, and when did they meet?
That is not really an issue of concern to you, when they met and so on. And those who met actually were representatives, emissaries from both sides. But you need to know that the request came from the other side, and our people responded and gave conditions. There have even been allegations that I met Mr. Ruto, maybe I don't know, in the Mara and so on. Nothing could be further from the truth. There's been no meeting between me and Mr. Ruto. But we say that the statement did not include what we had been agreed. And that's why we took the opportunity and the privilege to reiterate the issues that were put on the table.